Well, I think in Budget 2024, DPM Wong was very candid to paint a realistic picture of the external threats confronting Singapore both in the present as well as going forward. But looking deeper, the consistent theme through the budget is one of optimism for the future of Singapore, that with the right policies and with the right attitude of the people, we will prevail over these challenges, which is supported by a plethora of initiatives, both on the economic side as well as on the social side. So this is not a budget about vocabulary. It's a budget about action. The chemistry of the policies that have been announced in the budget show that it's giving equal attention to urgent issues such as cost of living, which are confronting households in the immediate space and time, as well as longer-term challenges such as making sure that we uplift social mobility. And it's important that we don't see economic and social policies in isolation. They actually mutually reinforce each other. We have two analogies in action at the same time. One, a shock absorber for households and for firms in the face of rising costs as well as periodic economic shocks. And the second, a springboard to help households and firms project themselves into more successful trajectories. And when you take these things together, that's when the equation creates conditions for not only the economy to succeed, but for workers to succeed within that expanding economy. I think two characteristics that are very clear from this budget that tell us a lot about how the 4G are thinking about approaching the future of Singapore is that the policies demonstrate an emphasis on progressiveness, and second, compassion. Because here the government is demonstrating that the philosophy that has been the case historically, which looks at the people of Singapore as economic digits. Today, we are being viewed as individuals with our own passions, aspirations, journeys, and our own definitions of success. And in this respect, it's not only an issue of cost, it's also an issue of empathy to realize and recognize that people are facing challenges and there's consideration that should be given in terms of investment in infrastructure, in terms of investment on support, in terms of investment of the human touch, so that nobody feels alone. I think the second issue, which didn't get a lot of attention in the budget, but did get a lot of attention in the lead up to budget, is a focus on mental health. I think these are important changes at a philosophical level, which are going to unfold into policy initiatives going forward from this budget. The government in this budget is doubling down on reskilling and upskilling. We are moving from thinking of skills as essentially salami slices of skills acquisition to now thinking of it as almost reschooling, using the new Skills Future Level Up to provide the opportunity for more mature workers to spend longer acquiring new knowledge and new skills at the diploma level. It's a very important step forward and will be expensive, but the payoffs are in terms of ensuring that our workers stay relevant in an economy that is continually changing and continually being disrupted on a rolling basis. It illustrates the capability on the part of the government both to innovate policy as well as to demonstrate policy intelligence. By innovate policy, I mean to create new ideas that allow us to stay competitive. And an example is the refundable investment tax credit. By policy intelligence, I mean that there is an awareness that we can't win everywhere at the same time. We have to make choices on a targeted basis of where we're going to be putting our resources and our best efforts that make the most difference in the future space. And I think this investment in human capital is really the most important of all economic strategies, beyond tax, subsidies, grants. Because when your people succeed, it's an indication that you're economically successful, and if your economy succeeds, there's greater opportunity for people to find their own path and journey.